So it's even more crowded now. Of course, no wonder. We have a few of our big names with us. I mean, the stars of tomorrow. So thank you very much, Nafi, Thiam, Michael Norman, Noal, Lyles, Katerina Stefanidi, and Brittney Reese to be with us. Kim Givard, our ex-sprinter, is going to host the press conference and ask some questions. And of course, you guys can ask some questions as well. So thanks a lot.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the International Press Conference of the IAAF Diamond League final in Brussels, the AG Memorial Pandame meeting. We are very pleased to have you all here together with the stars of athletics of today. Let me start today. We have a very full house today, and I'll start with the guys. I have some questions for the guys. Noah, very important. Have you decided yet on what socks you are going to wear tomorrow for the meeting?
I have.
You have?
Yep.
Can you tell us something about that?
I can tell you. I don't know if you'll get the reference though. It's another My Hero Academia pair of socks.
Ah, okay. And a different hair color tomorrow?
Nope, hair doesn't change till Doha.
Okay. Well, Noah, you like to stand out, but you stand out very much because you're very, very fast. And big surprise for you, we have a very fast track here in Brussels. Have you heard about that track, about our track?
I'm pretty familiar with the track and the speed that it has, the history it got on it.
What time do you think you could run tomorrow?
Oh gosh, let me pull out my fortune telling ball right here, because I'm a fortune teller, you know. I can predict when I'm going to run a world record. You guys know that, right? No, I can't.
No, but you feel good. You're confident, you feel good.
I do feel good. I had a decent practice yesterday in the windy city of Amsterdam, but some good times came out of it. So, weather permits, something might happen.
Okay, well, and you have another very fast gentleman sitting right next to you. Michael, welcome here in Brussels. How do you feel? What do you think about tomorrow? Are your legs in very good shape?
I guess leading up to Brussels, I've had some pretty good practices. I'm real happy where I'm at right now. So I'm actually really excited to compete. I haven't been this excited to compete for a while now. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and hopefully the weather holds up because
Yes.
you know, great weather means great performances. But regardless, I think there's going to be some fast times.
Yes, you already have the world indoor record. You ran that last year. How long do you give yourself to maybe run that outdoor 400-meter record?
That's a tough question. I mean, honestly, I think when it happens, it happens. You know, I'm not going to put a specific time frame on it, but you know, hopefully before, or if not this year, then next year, I think it's for sure going to go down. I think there's a lot of great talent in the 400, and I think we're just going to push each other to this next level. That's really going to challenge each other. So, you know, hopefully real soon.
Okay. Welcome also to you ladies. Katerina, you won the Diamond Trophy already 3 years in a row. Are you ready for a fourth one?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
I'm feeling good. 2 of the times we're here in Brussels, so maybe, hopefully it's good luck.
Yes, we hope that with you. But the pole vault is always a long competition, and I always wonder, I was a sprinter like a decade ago already, and I always wonder, how do you maintain your concentration during that competition? Do you switch off from time to time, or?
Well, I think it's important. I think with a sprinter, you have to focus for that, 10 or 20 or 40-second race, and you're done. For us, I think you need the ability to focus and then relax and then focus and then relax. And I think, in a way, this is something that we train for at practice as well. We take time off between jumps and we relax, and then we have to refocus. And I think the better you can switch from one to the other, the better you can be. And I think this might be one of my talents as well. I think the second I step on the runway, it's like a switch.
Yeah, that's also a bit the same for you, Brittney, to keep your focus in the long jump competition. Do you have any tips or tricks?
I just try to stay loose and just focus on what I've been working on previously before I got there. It's a tough competition, so you just have to stay focused.
Yes, you had a rather quiet start to your season, but you appear to really gain strength now and to get stronger and stronger. Was this part of your plan?
Oh, yes, exactly. It's a long year
Yes.
leading up to the Olympics, so I wanted to take things a little bit slower, also because of my age, but I wanted to take things a little bit slower. And about to be 33, okay? So I want to take things a little bit slower, and now that I've been here overseas now for about a week and a half, so I'm feeling really, really well and feeling that some good jumps are available.
Yes, and then let's go back to the competition in Birmingham. You saw a special girl jumping in Birmingham, and you tweeted, "Wow!" What do you think about our Belgian star Nafi Thiam?
Yeah, I've been watching her in the heptathlon. I know she can jump it. I know for the hep that the long jump brings you a lot of points. So if she jumps well, she gets more points. And I did see it, and I was really, really impressed. And I'm grateful to go out there tomorrow and compete against her.
How far do you think she can jump?
Oh, definitely 7 meters. It's coming.
We think so too. Nafi, welcome. Nafi, tomorrow you will not be doing the long jump, but you will be doing the high jump. And you jumped so well already this year, 202. Second best high jumper just after Maria Lasitskenes, 206. Do you think you can maybe beat that 202 pushed by our Belgian crowd?
I really hope so. I think I was feeling very good those last few weeks. In the high jump, I really did a lot of progress at training, also in competition. I don't have so much repetition. I only did one high jump competition this year. So it's always difficult to be consistent in heptathlon. But yeah, I think the atmosphere is going to be great, and I'm going to be motivated to go high, also with strong competitor with me. So I hope so I can do 2 meter again tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, you always give a very relaxed impression when during your competition, jumping in front of your own people. Does it make you a bit more nervous?
No, I'm just always having fun in competition. I like to compete. I like to be with strong competitors. It's really not giving me stress. I'm just excited about it. I think it's a lot more fun, and to do that in front of the Belgian crowd, it's always special in Brussels. And this year, I think it's going to be even more special because it's before the championship. Usually, I'm always back from holidays, so I'm not really in the best shape. But this time, I feel really good, so I think it's going to be really great tomorrow, yeah.
Yes, and let's talk a bit more about those World Championships. Athletes are not very used to have those championships so late, end of September, beginning of October. Did you make any changes to your training program, Michael, for example?
The only real big difference that we made this year was that we kind of pushed back training later in the year. But other than that, Coach Carroll and Coach Watts have a really good plan of how we're going to attack this season. So I've literally been doing like this similar things as I've been doing in college, but just kind of at a different time frame. So.
Yes. And for you, Noah?
Same thing as Mike. We pushed our training back a lot further. Endurance training has been longer than normal years, and even now we have been scheduling my peaks. So we had a really big one in July, and then leading into World Champs, we're going to be doing a lot of hardcore training after this month, and I'm super excited because I'm already doing pretty well right now, and I'm just really excited to see how far I can go.
Yes, you're doing pretty well also in the 100 meters, but you still stick to your plan to just run the 200 meters in Doha?
Well, seeing as there's no way now to run the 100, I think I'm sticking to the plan.
And you, Michael, you might double one day, 200, 400?
Yeah, well, hopefully one day, maybe after the Olympics. I think these next 2 years I really want to just focus on my individual event and make sure I get a medal in the 400, Olympic medal and a world medal. But, further down the line, hopefully I can drop down to the 2 and go for the double. And then hopefully eventually, if I win this bet with Coach Carroll, I can drop down to the 100 and just run that for fun. So, we'll see like in the next couple of years to see where I'm at. But, maybe 2021 I'll run the 100.
Okay. Well, and Nafi, you've had such a great season already. It seems like you're preparing something really huge in Doha.
Yeah, I hope so. It was a difficult year. I got injured a few times. And every time I got back to competition, it was really great. So it gave me a lot of hopes for Doha. I hope I can do 7,000 points again. And of course, I want to defend my title. So I'll give everything. We'll see.
Okay, yes. And Brittney, you must be, you're probably the most successful long jumper in the history of the sport, and with already 8 major gold medals. I counted correctly, I hope. You have 4 World Championships gold, 3 World Indoors gold, 1 Olympic gold. Can we look forward to bring that number to 10 in the next 12 months, Doha and Tokyo?
I hope so. You know, I got a little glass case in my living room so my son can look at it. So our goal is 10 gold. So he just won his first long jump competition for the nationals. So he's good. Yeah, and he came home with like 12 medals, and he said he had more than me. So I'm trying to catch up with him right now. So I'm definitely looking for at least 10 medals before my journey is over.
And Ekaterina, you must be looking forward also to succeed yourself in Doha and grab another title.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I'll go back to what Noah said earlier. We're not fortune tellers, and it's really difficult when we speak about those things about tomorrow, and now we're speaking about what's going to happen in a month. I hope more than anything that I make it a month from now healthy. I know that when I'm healthy, I can compete quite well, and I think that, I mean, it's a weird year. I think we had to change some things in the training. We had to look into the next year as well, with the Olympics being a little earlier than usual. So a lot of different things that we're all kind of experimenting with, and again, hoping that we stay healthy through. I do want to successfully defend my title, but more than that, I want to defend my title, to be there, be healthy, and be able to do that.
Okay, I wish you all the best too. Just one last question. Maybe have you had a chance to maybe visit Brussels a little bit, or any of you, did you see anything of Brussels?
I've had 3 waffles already.
Oh, you had waffles. Voila. Anyone had chocolates? Yeah, no. No. No one? Okay. Well, thank you very much already. You're free to ask questions now.
Question for Noah, and maybe for the other athletes if they want to answer it. Noah, what is your opinion, your comment on Christian Coleman's case?
On his what?
Christian Coleman's. What happened to him those last few days?
Well, I'm glad to see him running again.
Well,
I don't wish ill upon anybody, so I'm happy that we can have a strong team going to USA's for the 100.
Do you think it's fair what happened?
It's already decided. Doesn't matter what I think.
Michael, so Wade Van Nico, I think about 3 days ago, confirmed that he won't be defending the world title. So just get your reaction to that, and the way he phrased the statement, sounding quite worrying that it might not ever really get back to the top level again.
I did see that. You know, it's disappointing to see one of the actually the world's best 400-meter runner not be able to defend his 400-meter title, just because, you know, we're all competitors and we want to compete against the best of the best. I'm hoping that, you know, he's going to come around next year and be at his best, because, you know, I would love to race him when he's at his best. You know, I think it's a smart decision for him to, you know, take this extra time to recover to make sure he can defend his Olympic title. Because nobody wants to race anybody when they're not at their best. I just feel like if I were to ever race him and beat him and he wasn't at his best, it just wouldn't be fulfilling to myself, because, you know, I know that he could have been better, and it just would have been more fulfilling if we had the opportunity to race when we're both at our best. So, you know, I wish him the best, and I really hope we get the opportunity to race next year.
Question for Noah. Noah, I missed what you said about the socks. Could you just repeat what you said?
They will be my academia socks. Yeah. My Hero Academia. I had to say the full name.
Hi guys, have you read a comment about Max Kellerman, ESPN boxing commentator? Can you tell me your views on that? Because to me, he's actually disrespected the sport. Because one, the comments he made
Truthfully, it hurts to hear stuff like that because we all come up here and we work probably the most out of all sports all year, almost all year long. And what we get maybe a 3-month break. I mean, this year we're probably gonna get a 3-week break and get right back onto it. And then hearing that and knowing that track and field is one of the most viewed Olympic sports out there, and then as soon as the Olympics are over, hear people say stuff like that really hurts. We're not doing anything less than any other sport is doing.
It's quite a well-respected guy, this Terence Kelly, and obviously, you watch his boxing commentary, is exceptional, but again, to sway your sport is actually disrespectful for you guys.
Yeah, like I was saying, it hurts.
I think we should care less about what one journalist said. I think it was too dramatic of a reaction. Somebody had an opinion, and we all had to react to it, and I think it was unnecessary.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Some people could take it the wrong way, but I don't know him personally. I don't know who does, but he may be just joking. I don't know what type of person he is, so it's hard for me to really have an opinion on this matter when I don't know exactly what type of person he is. He could just be joking around, or he could be serious. But if he was serious, it is a little bit disrespectful to kind of say that we're not athletes or not as good as athletes. But I think in a sport like track and field, where it's basically just your individual skill that you have to hone in, it's hard to kind of compare athletes from different sports. But I think he's just joking, and he's just trying to get everybody all riled up. So.
Est-ce que vous pensez que dans le futur, les femmes devraient faire des décathlons ou de déplacements? Ça ne va pas concerner vous parce que ça prendrait beaucoup de temps de projet, mais quel que soit votre avis là-dessus, est-ce que vous pouvez développer un peu pourquoi vous pensez que on devrait changer cette époque?
C'est vrai qu'il y a eu pas mal de débats à ce sujet-là, surtout sur la question du fait que...
Can you answer that in English, Nafi?
Okay. Je réponds en anglais?
In English, yes. Thank you, Nafi.
Yeah, so I can understand, that we said it has to switch to decathlon because at first we gave heptathlon to the women because they were not able to take a decathlon. So I definitely get that way of thinking. But also, for me, I think I would be sad to see the heptathlon just disappear because to me, heptathlon and decathlon is just not the same event. It doesn't require the same profile. So to just erase the heptathlon and to switch to the decathlon, I think, I would be a bit sad to see that. And I also know it's not possible to just have both in the same time. But just that I think a lot of people see the switch from heptathlon to decathlon like an upgrade from the heptathlon because decathlon is the best form. But to me, it's just a different event, and I really love heptathlon. And yeah, I think it would really hurt me to see just disappear and to erase all the history of heptathlon, all the great records, and just start with a new event that is completely different.
Question for Kat and Brittney. As Kim mentioned earlier, you've both won pretty much all there is to win over the past 5-10 years or so. How have your goals changed throughout your career, from your early days to when you started winning medals and now as a seasoned professional?
Well, I had a lot shorter of a career than Brittney here. I don't think it really changes. I think every championship is a new championship, and whether you're going in as a defending champion or not, I think you are going in and you want to win. And every gold medal and every medal really has been equally as special because there has been different circumstances, different goals. So other than getting a little more confident and still, according to my coach, not confident enough for what I have achieved, I won't say that the medals have changed anything. I still go to practice every day like I did before, and I enjoy very much, and I will continue to do that as long as I enjoy the everyday of the sport.
I agree. Nothing has changed with me. I still feel like I'm competitive in the sport. And I've always said once I fall in love with the sport, then I'm done with the sport. And I still continue to do the same thing that she does, wake up every morning and go train and do therapy and things like that. And so for me, like the goal is still always to win and to get better each year.
For the American athletes, how difficult or maybe easy is it to change things in your whereabouts? And how does it work? Do you do it with an app or?
There's an app where you can update your whereabouts when you decide to travel. You just have to be conscious of where you're going. When you're going to compete, sometimes it's a pain, but once you get into the groove, you kind of understand what to do, when to do it, and you just kind of like understand like, okay, I'm going to compete, so let me go on real quick, type in my password, and then they'll send me a code, and I type in the code, and then I'll change it real quick, like add a travel day, and then what days I'll compete, and then basically after that you're solid. But sometimes you can forget. Sometimes I do forget, and it becomes a little bit tedious sometimes.
Yeah, actually, I remember I started when I was like 17, and I swear I was like one of the youngest people on the USADA doing the dope and whereabouts, and I was like, why am I on this? I'm not even like a pro, and I was like upset, but I like constantly, me and my mom would like learn everything there was, because it was the scariest thing in my mind was the fact that if I missed 3, I could be gone for a whole year. And I definitely didn't want that to happen. So me and my mom, we constantly on the website, on the app, and the app can get very hard to use at times because it's not as updated as the website. So over here, when I'm in Europe, I usually get my mom to put in all my whereabouts, and I'll call her and I'll try to get the whereabouts as fast as possible. And the sooner you do it, the less you have to worry about it. So that's kind of my philosophy on it.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 11 plus years, so it's not that hard. It's an app. When I first started, there was no app, but it's not really that hard. I mean, you just have to stay up on it, and once you stay up on it, you're fine.
Have any of you guys missed doping tests or was it a close call at any time?
It's really easy to miss one. They have a 60-minute period where they can test you. Sometimes it's with USADA, and sometimes it's with the IAAF. So I think with the IAAF, they can come at any time. With USADA, they have to come within your 60-minute. And if you're not within that 60-minute, say you run to the grocery store and you're not at home, and they're at your door, you can have a missed test. That's how easy it is. In my first couple of years, I've had missed tests because I was in the library. I was in school at the time. I was in the library, and they're at my door knocking, and I get a missed test. You have the right to appeal it, which Christian did and won it. But it's really simple to miss, but you just have to stay up on it.
I've missed one when 2017, I put PM instead of AM. So I'm expecting them in the morning all the time, and they had been coming, and we did the quarter, and the quarter was set to PM. And I went out with my friends for dinner, and I come back and I see an email, and it's like, you've missed tests. Hold up, what? No, I didn't. All right, it's time to start getting harder up on that.
For me, I haven't missed a test yet, but hopefully not. When I was in college in 2017, my freshman year, I was having a hard time. Thank goodness I had a good roommate who just spammed my phone, but I was in Spanish class, and he's like, they're here to test you, and I had to like leave class to go take this test. And it's happened multiple times where I was either in class or like lifting weights. They'll come to my door instead of like to where I'm at. So it was kind of challenging to kind of like make sure that I put like my class schedule or my workout schedule, and sometimes they would show up, at the right location. Sometimes they wouldn't. Like I know one time they went to the wrong apartment at one time, and I was like, I updated it last night, and they're like, oh, but I had it updated I haven't updated it since like 2 days ago, so it said I was supposed to be at my apartment. So, sometimes it gets confusing, but no, I have not missed a test yet, and there has been close calls.
I did already miss one test. I think it was like the first or the second year I was in the program. Yeah, I went to sleep at a friend's house and I just forgot to change it. And yeah, they went in the morning. So yeah, after I remember I was very stressed about it because at that time it was for my study. I was living in a attic and I didn't have a doorbell or anything. And I remember I saw that they didn't ring my phone and when they couldn't reach me. And I was really so stressed that they would come back and ring the bell, and that was not working. So I started installing like Bluetooth ring bell everywhere, and it was terrible. But yeah, I think it's hard like to do a whole career and never miss one. I think can happen to anybody.
Does this add a lot of pressure on you guys, or is it just part of the job?
It really is not that difficult. I mean, it does add some stress, I would say, especially at the beginning. Like, sometimes you forget and you realize, oh, for 3 days I have not updated. I need to be updating it better. But it really is not that difficult. I think it's part of the job and you learn to do it. And the older you get, I think, the easier it gets to do as well. Like, you can set an alarm and say every night, the whereabouts change. And just know at 9 p.m. every night you can change your whereabouts. I would like to clarify something that Brittney said. IAAF can come at any time of the day, not just in your 1 hour window, but you only get a missed test if you're not there at the 1 hour window you've given them. So. And it is terrifying when they're knocking on the door at 6 in the morning. Yeah.
I always know who it is if it's.
For me, I live with Rye Benjamin, so like sometimes it gets kind of annoying when they bang on the door, and I wake up at like 6:30 in the morning, open the door, say hey, like we're here for Rye. I'm like bang on Rye's door, and then I go back to sleep. But yeah, there's been times where they tested me like multiple times for no reason. I'm just like again. He's like hey, so I just kind of like become friends with the USADA people, and sometimes they cut me some slack, and I've just good conversation with them. If you treat them nicely, they'll treat you nicely and cut you slack if you're running a little later or if you're not exactly where you're supposed to be. So I would always say just be nice and, just welcome them and just it becomes a part of the job. So.
Is there one last question maybe? No? Yeah. Okay.
Let's just bring it back to tomorrow night. Noah, Brussels track very fast, particularly for 200 metres. The famous Brussels bend. Tell us what it's like running the Brussels bend.
I've only done it once, and I remember that time I was kind of just like running for the win. This time I have chosen a particular spot based on my coach's long history of coming to this track, and I'm trusting him with the lane. And to be honest, practice is going pretty well. And it's kind of weird to say that, we get up here every time and they're always going to say, oh, what do you think you can run? And we're very hesitant to say something because as soon as we say one thing, automatically all you see is this person is going after the world record. It's like, calm down. We just said we felt good. There's so many variables out there. But I think that I'm definitely going for a PR. If the weather is looking right and, if the track's not too wet, I'm trying to PR out here.
Another question maybe? Yeah.
No, I just wanted to get your reaction to Mike actually saying that he's thinking of focusing on the 400 over the next 2 seasons. Is it almost disappointing that you won't get too many more great battles like you did in Rome and last year to a certain extent? And just your reaction to him flirting with the 100 metres as well.
I'm pretty sure we'll be able to still get some 200s in. You're probably going to run a few, right?
Yeah, just because I'm focusing on the 400 for the years doesn't mean I'm not running the 200. It's just going to be part of training, and I will be running the 200, at some Diamond League events, given if my coaches say to. But, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to run it, and I think there's going to be some great races between the both of us these next couple of years. It's just I'm not going to be focusing on the 200 at the Olympic Games or trying to double.
Yeah, and I mean, we got Prefontaine, and I think they're gonna have a 200 there next year. So
Yeah, but if
That
it's a
might-
2 and a 4, then I have to choose which
that's
one I
true.
want to do. But
Come on, man, you did the 4 this year.
Yeah,
Do the
who
2.
knows? Maybe Coach Watson, Coach Crow will be like, you know what? He did great this year in the 400, and he'll be like, you know what? You can run the 2 next year. But we'll see. You know, only time will tell. It depends on training and how the rest of this year, how I finish this year.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think there's ever gonna be a time where we don't have one race a year that we don't go against each other.
Yeah, it's been like that for a couple of years now.
Should we do more USADA stories?
I maybe have another question for the fast guys here. How journalists immediately compare the sprinters of this generation to Bolt. How difficult is it for the post-Bolt era sprinters now to be compared to him all the time?
I don't think it's. I would say we're all trying to kind of create a name for ourselves and try to, you know, live on this legacy and try to kind of set the bar to these next levels. We're not necessarily trying to live up to, like, you know, Bolt's legacy, but we're trying to create our own legacy, which, you know, people like us, or, you know, people like us, or people who want to be just like us. We're trying to, like, inspire them in the same way that, like, you know, Bolt may have inspired some of us. So it's not more of trying to fill in his shoes, but trying to create our own footprints that other people can, you know, be inspired by.
You were inspired by him, both of you, very much?
I would say one of my biggest regrets in the world is not being able to watch him run live. But, you know,
I would
I've had
like
a
to see
couple
that.
athletes that have inspired me, so.
And for you, Noah?
Not so much inspired. I do have a great deal of respect for him, though. And I do, like, you know, I take things off of people. You know, I love his showmanship. I've said that a few times. I try to put that into my own way of presenting myself when I run, and people tend to gravitate towards it. But it's really just me being out there, and like Mike said, it's really trying to make my own footprint. You know, we don't all, just because we admire him, we don't all want to be like him.
No.
You know, yeah.
What do you think of dances or moves that dance?
Or singing afterwards?
Singing. Trust me, you don't want to hear me sing. Maybe rap, but you don't want to hear me sing. Dances and all that stuff, yeah, most of them are, you know, put together before. And I remember I didn't dance last week, and one of the athletes came up to me and was like, "I'm disappointed you didn't dance." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "I love watching you dance." I was like, "Oh, I'll have to dance at the next one." Haven't put together the dance, so tonight will be a lot of brainstorming. But I remember I jumped into the crowd that after that race, and I had been waiting on the perfect track, because there's usually a gap between the audience and the track. And I've been like wanting to jump into the crowd for like forever, because I saw Travis Scott do it, and I was like, Of course I watched the documentary. I'm a huge Travis Scott fan. But I was like, I got to do that with the crowd. I feel like that would be like a memorable moment.
Katerina, how much competition is better for you for one best results in the last of the year? For example, in the final or in the World Championship. How many competition in outdoor?
Number, you mean?
Number.
Εννοείται πόσους αγώνες ή πώς... he's asking how many competitions. I think it's impossible to answer that question. I think it all depends on the length of the season. It all depends on how you're feeling. Last year, I had some issues at the beginning of the outdoor season. I could have skipped those first meets and still probably done just as well. I think it all depends on the season, on the length, on how training has gone. I've had seasons that I started on the first meet jumping 480 and I never went under 480, and seasons that I had to work from 450 and 460 to go back to 480. So every year is different. I think the question that nobody has asked is if the heptathlon does go to the decathlon, if Nafi is ready to pole vault.
I actually did a little bit of pole vault before because my coach thought it was good for my shoulder. But yeah, I don't think I don't think it's gonna be good enough. I think if it would switch to decathlon in my time, which I don't think would happen, the big problem would be the pole vault for everybody, I guess, and for me also the 1500 meters.
That's far.
So I think I'll be out if we switch to decathlon. I'm done.
One very last question. Anyone? Yes.
Do you really want to ask that question? Do you really think my... Did you really think... I'm pretty sure you can give the answer for me.
Maybe you would, because then it's a tough...
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Some of the guys move up, so maybe you would once in the post-Mexico World Series.
I'll give you a hint. It's the first 2 letters of my name. My man Mike got hit right here. He's gonna break Michael Johnson's record in the 4, and I'll do it in the 2. Exactly. Now that is something I would definitely do. You know, we got to do a 300 sometime.
Yeah. Not indoor, because I vow never to run indoor ever again.
You're free to break those records tomorrow also, guys.
If only it worked that way.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being here, everybody. I wish you all the best of luck. And we have a little present for you. Where is it? Here. No chocolate, but cookies. You might better wait until tomorrow evening to eat those because they might slow you down a bit. Belgian cookies. And thank you very much again.